through which they have set this network from the very beginning till now. So I'm very, very proud and happy that the court team actually remembered the people who are sanctioned in different countries because these people account for millions of pioneers, really. And it's going to be a game changer if uh, this consideration can actually result in them still getting what they had mined before 2021 December, and and they, they get their pie, and they get their pie. That's a very, very big deal, and I feel this should matter more than any any pioneer feeling that, oh, these people, they are serious, they extended the deadline, and just all these kind of privileged feelings that pioneers may have, and they may not be aware or conscious of the fact that they actually have a privilege to be feeling that way. It's a privilege, and I feel that we should be able to get out of our own heads and forget about what we want for a second and think objectively for what is actually beneficial for the network, because that is how the core team thinks. The core team is not here to just please us, to just give us the open minute because we have been waiting for it for. It's a scam, and they keep denying us the open minute. And I don't realize that Pi core team will be the one to profit the most when we actually launch the token, right? If you feel that because you have 200 Pi in your wallet, Pi core team should open the the network so that Pi can be listed at $100 or $314 or whatever, so that you can cash out and get benefit. Imagine the core team that have actual billions of Pi or hundreds of millions of Pi at their disposal. I think they won't. You think they won't also make money? We've seen so many situations of projects launch and they go live, and the developers of that project, start rugging or start selling somehow. We've seen some of them happen on these Telegram games and stuff like that. People complain. People complain. See, developers have profit to make a lot when tokens go live. If their goal is actually just to make money, I would say that the core team are building beyond such um, small level ambitions. They are building something that actually provides revolutionary solutions to the world. So the KYC deadline extension is actually a good thing. In fact, I was surprised to personally see that I got a record number of active referrals that I have not seen in a very, very long time. In more than 2 years, I have not seen up to 90 people active in my team, but I saw them after the extension and I was like, what's happening? Right. So it gives people hope. There are lots of people that got hope. And I think we should actually be happy for that, and we should support other pioneers who are going to benefit from this extension, because trust me, a lot of people are actually benefiting from this extension, and it gives more time. Right. Um, I want to involve speakers on this conversation right now, and since this have set the tone, and I can see very, very, very fabulous Benjamin. I'm so happy whenever I see Benjamin in the space and he has a mic. Also, we have Mr. Yu and an account from Indonesia. I cannot pronounce it. Some other people. So let's have this conversation about the KYC deadline issues at the grace period. Mr. Ben, Big Ben himself. How are you doing, sir?
Hey Woody, morning, Mr. Yu Hodi, as well as our Asian lady here, YBHC HCJJ TT. I
Mm.
think her name is TT. It's a privilege to be here. Um, so Woody, you nailed it. You nailed it. Um, it's an awesome development, and what will I say? If you observe, I've never even said anything because
Yeah,
the parameters are still within the boundary. So we are talking
right.
about open mainnet. and all publications and all announcements clearly states that open mainnet is still on. And pretty much there
Yeah.
are other things that matters to open mainnet. And one of the factors that matters to open mainnet is KYC. And that has been tilted to allow maximum adoption. Point of emphasis, maximum adoption. And if you ask me, I would say probably that's what grace period means. That is that period that you have the privilege to be accorded grace, if you ask me. Thus,
Yes.
as we ought to have moved to phase two of KYC in September, and it was extended to November, and now extended to the last possible day. I kind of like see it as a room so that we can have maximum onboarding. Why? We've passed 65 million in registered account. Yet
Mhm.
of that 65 million, we are less than 20 million that applied for KYC. And of that 20 million, less than 20 million that applied for KYC, the last number was a little over 7 million that has been migrated. Now, this
Yeah.
has a lot of implications. Now, we're trying to say that KYC will come to a halt. The answer is no. It's just that pre-mined tokens may be burnt. And if you look at it from an economic perspective, it's dumb. I repeat, it's dumb for the core team not to exploit the situation. I mean, let me give you for instance, if the core team were like um, the founders of Ice Network, trust me, they would gladly have burnt all all companies that fail
Yeah.
in that,
I
because
swear.
honestly it speaks towards scarcity. It speaks towards scarcity. I mean, I gave you, you did not apply for migration, and I burn it. We are bringing down supply by a land mile. Thus, only a little will be left in circulation. And with the economic model as captured in the white paper, it will only be for the core team's advantage to burn tokens.
Yes.
Yet, they kept resolute on their first 5 sentences of the white paper. And what was their first 5 sentences of the white paper? To build a currency and a smart contract platform for everyday people, pointing all to maximum adoption. We don't know that if the narrative had gone to the previous tokens being burnt, probably today, and tomorrow we will have had more number of pioneers that have lost their tokens. Of course, I still believe that many will still lose their token in the next 30 days, except they do something supersonic. We realize that we who
Yeah.
pretty much have passed KYC, we are below 50% of the total community capacity.
Yes.
And it's kind of like selfish if we are
Ah,
angry that, I mean, after all, I don't want to go there because all the tweets I've been reading, for those who are affording or who are full of pessimism, is because of listing.
Mm-hmm.
Open the net was not changed. But their narrative is that since you said September, you move it to November, and now November, you're moving to December. How sure am I that you're going to list? Hey, Master Man, how much have you invested? Are you a key stakeholder? But I don't want to go through that route. But if the objective is to create a currency that will be that will have a wide circulation, and they are using strategic processes and procedures to ensure that we have maximum adoption, that's a little bit selfless or sacrificial from their own side. And if they would, at the last moment, if let's say for a week they thought of listing, they had the perfect opportunity to burn billions of coins hovering in minor applications yet to be KYC. And that would have ramped up the price of Pi on day one when it's listed. I went by saying, um, I find it as an impressive stride, an awesome development, even though I still feel, even if we linger, a majority of us are already sitting on time bomb. The initial mobile number that was associated with their minor account, they do not know where the number is. They don't even know their passwords. So they are in pretty much a limbo
In
as we
fact,
speak.
Benjamin, there's a new one. It's not just password. You know, they recently released a form to help those who have forgotten their password and it's not working to recover their account. But in that form, they said you should write down your PI username, write down your phone number. Now, these people that have forgotten their password, many of them also forgot their PI username. So they cannot even fill the form to get help.
Whoa.
Yes, I have friends who forgot their PI username.
So you
Oh my
see,
goodness.
gradually, reality is dawning on us, and it's a good thing. And we're not trying to say that should the grace period come to an end, there won't be migrations. No. You who have been in the system, you are locked out. No. It's just that the implication is what you have minted thus far may be burnt. Point of emphasis, may. But that doesn't stop you from minting. It's just that you are going to go back to what we consider as class one, or rather going back to what we consider as kindergarten. And you're starting your minting journey all over again. Of course, either way, it is strategic. And I expect us to ramp up sustainably and organically. So do your best. Do your best to see that you applied for KYC. In fact, I was so crazy that my kids, my first son is 5, my daughter, she's 3, but I went to get them their NIN last 2 weeks because Dateline didn't pass. Coincidentally, when I applied for their KYC, I got the feedback that till they reach 18, that they will be able to have their document accepted. So the journey of minting for them have just begun. So pretty much I have a minimum of 13 years for him to keep mining,
Mhm.
and a minimum of 15 years for her or 16 years for her to keep mining. And that's excellent.
Yes.
So Woody, It's an excellent development. I just see it a brilliant, selfless, and an encompassing initiative by the core team to ensure that we have the biggest or the widest adoption before we go to open mainnet. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. And that's very, 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 very important thing. Pioneers, we should just, always try to not just look out for what we want because, pioneer network is not created for just to please or to fulfill your own personal desires. This is what you want to achieve with money and stuff. It's something that must work for the masses on a general scale. So it's not just for your own profit making. So when you keep thinking about Pi Network as just a vehicle for your profit making, that's when you get caught up into all these, grievances against the method so far that the court team has taken in the building of the network. But see it as something that's supposed to provide a wider solution to the world so that as it benefits you, it can benefit more people in the same way, and not just a very, very limited number of people, right? So that's how we roll as pioneers. That's why we are pioneers. We need to pioneer this spirit for the wider community. So thank you so much, Ben. Uh, Mr. You, so would you like to unmute your mic now? Mr. You, are you there? Okay, if it's not there, Pi Podcast. Uh, it's been a while. I heard from you on Spaces.
Yeah,
I think I've
yeah,
missed hearing from you. How you doing?
yeah, my man. My man, it's been a minute. I'm always happy when I see you,
Mhm,
Benjamin, on a space. We're about to give the public
mhm,
what they've missed in a while. It's always a pleasure to host spaces with you guys. It's incredibly fascinating. Thank you. I'm here. I'm here.
mhm.
So the insight that
Cool, cool.
yeah, the insight that Mr. Benjamin has been sharing was very, very productive and insightful. Uh, Mr. Godfrey, please, can you mute your mic, sir? Thank you. So what I was saying is Mr. Benjamin shared a very, very educative insight, and I believe that these alone should be helpful to a lot of pioneers. They shouldn't feel desperate or the expectation. They are putting their expectation on the core team and thinking that the core team is supposed to move based off of their expectation, but then they have a specific route that they are following in regards to open mainnet. And things a lot of people are hoping for Open Minute to be by the end of let me not say by the end of this year, like the fourth quarter of 2024. Since it didn't happen in October, they pushed it to November. Since it hasn't occurred in November, they're expecting December. But like Mr. Benjamin said, do not just because it didn't happen the previous one doesn't mean your expectations were wrong. You are supposed to expect next month to be Open Minute. It is like you said, Mr. Woody. Everybody is just looking for their self interest. Then the PICO team is looking for the overall interest of the project in the long. But I wouldn't agree. I
Yeah,
wouldn't agree more that this is actually one of the best time that if Pi Network would have gone mainstream, it would have blown the internet based off of um the winning of the 47th president of the I mean, it would have been crazy. But then he has what? He has still 4 years to run. So Pi also have some time to be also part of one of the revolutionizing project in the next few years in regards to his role in regards to his rules at rule as the United States president for the I don't know if it's 4 years that 4 years renewable in the United States. So I think they still have the time to prepare. But I humbly believe that on our last Pi 2 day, Dr. Nicholas Kokalis was able to declare that it was the last Pi tutor. So maybe, and I just say maybe, hopefully we'll see open mainnet before June 2025. But irregardless, even if we see it or not, no, let's just be open and stay patient. But one thing also we should be able to admit is the Pi Cotton like to ghost their pioneers. The Pi Cotton ghost their pioneers. They would just like ghost everybody and they would not give no announcement. And I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes it's just so hilarious when I see
it's very intentional. Very intentional.
very intentional. And sometimes you just keep bringing back this old news at the Pi application dashboard that it some pioneers get pissed off like fuck man, we're waiting for open mainnet and you're giving us this. And they'll come and send you maybe a reminder of go and do your checkup list and every single thing. But this sounds funny, but the time will come where you would thank the core team for repeating all of these things. That opportunity will not be there anymore because they won't even have the time. Because trust me, if Pycor team go mainstream, they'll have more other important things to focus on than coming to be reminding you of stuff to do. So right now, when they are doing things like this and doing or hosting hackathons and reminding you to put your business on the map of Pi or on the Pi blockchain, every single thing, when they will go mainstream, trust me, every company, every single person will want to be part of this cake, and they wouldn't have maybe your attention. Now they are giving you the attention because you are the pioneer, are the first people that are using this application. So for now, I will hear the mic to Mr. Hoodie 44. I think he's handed up. I think probably
Okay,
Yes, hello, thank you. Can you hear me?
loud and clear.
yeah.
Uh,
We can hear you.
yes, thank you for having me in this channel. So I see that you are all about now the KYC deadline that have changed now. So like it's not anything has been changed. It's just like moved to the correct position. Like that's the deadline that we are all waiting for. So it doesn't matter for us pioneers what happened with the team. That's correct.
Sorry. What's your question, please?
The KYC deadline that you're having in the deadline has moved now.
Yes.
So it's like it's not nothing different for us. It's not like they have some big announcement or something like this.
No, there's no big announcement, sir. It has just been
No.
moved to the end. Or-
Oh, okay.
Me, I love conspiracy theories a lot. Nobody like conspiracy theory, Richie.
I know.
I love it. I love it. Just that, I try to stay demure so that I don't go out of hand with conspiracies. But you see, I feel like not not I feel like I feel I think I'm very confident about the fact that you see all these extensions it was even planned for. I think it was
Yeah.
I honestly think it was planned for. Because look, this 6 month grace period, it's not something that just came out of the blue. Remember that this 6 month grace period has been in the white paper since December 2021, 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
It's something, yeah, it's something we have anticipated for 3 years. It's not just coming up now. And before it came out, it was before it came out in 2021, that December white paper. You remember it was a very, very bulky, lengthy white paper, which must have taken lots of time to actually write. In fact, there were lots of also mathematical calculations in there. Like it would have taken time to actually prepare that white paper. So it's not just something that was thought about in December 2021, long before that. So this has been years in the making. And you think Pi Cotton did not? You did not think about all of these things through. Yeah, I, I can't believe that. I mean, this I feel like it's the maybe separating the KYC deadline from the migration. It's to keep people on the heels on their heels, make them not relax and you know always be active with doing what they have to do to be on board. And I think it's working, right? It's working because honestly, if this KYC deadline had actually um gone off by November 30th, lots of people would have lost their pie. But there are lots of people now that would actually save it because of the extension. Like the same way a lot of people were saved when they shifted the deadline from September 30. So more people are still going to be saved. I really anticipate, it's my own conspiracy theory that December is going to have a roller coaster of updates that
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
I think this.
Maybe they are going to just give people 1 month, like 1 month for the big announcement, so that if you hear it, come back and do what you have to do. If you don't hear it, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's my thoughts.
I think I agree with you on that. I believe December will have some very from some very how can I say some very unexpected news that we never expected. I believe the court come up with something like boom, and I always and that's what they always do every December. They come up with some amazing news. They just come and give us back that hope. When all that hope is lost, they just come with a certain news. They just give you like. Take this and hold yourself for a while we're coming back. It's just so funny how they do.
Hmm.
And
To be honest,
yeah, I believe December will have some good news. Probably we'll have all of those mainnet condition met or something like that that will keep or reboost the morale of pioneers to keep hope up. Or why not open mainnet?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. To be honest, I feel like there actually before the grace period is over, I think lots of press and lots of media and boards, big announcement and all that needs to actually go up before the grace period. I feel like that would only be fair because I can remember some years ago in some communications where it said that there's gonna be big announcements everywhere like globally to be everywhere so that people who have left their accounts will come back and all that stuff. I mean, I think it was an assurance that Nicholas was giving some years back that not to worry, those your referrals who have stopped mining, they will come back. I think it was something in that sentiment, in that line of sentiment. I can't remember exactly. But so I've been waiting for big stuff to actually happen during this grace period because I feel like a that would be a very, very significant catalyst in making the grace period more effective. Because as it is, some people might not even be aware that the grace period is on, that there's a deadline timer counting down for Pi accounts. Right? So they will actually need the um the buzz, the chaos and all that to see that there's something that's happening that has a sense of urgency and they need to go back. I feel that that would actually help the grace period to be more effective for people to come back to their fire. So who knows? Maybe that could happen in just close to the end of the grace period, so that it happens so fast. It happens so fast. Maybe that's just my speculation, right?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, big E005 pylord alpha.
GM Rudy, GM my idolo, Mr. Benjamin. Hope I'm audible. Yeah. So I came up to the speaker level. Woody, you're owing me a pie shirt. You promised me a pie shirt, so I've been expecting it for a long time ago now. So yeah, that's that by the side. So
Yeah, yeah, pie t-shirts, pie t-shirts. A time will come when we'll give out pie t-shirts. Yeah.
yeah, so but I'm saying mine because you promised me on space. I have the evidence. I have the evidence. So you promised me. So that,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
yeah. I'm holding on to it. I mean, I'm from the core DAO ecosystem as an ambassador, but I've been a pioneer from day one before I got onboarded on core, and I see the modalities of how every should I say every airdrop that has been coming into play using the same model of Pi coming in. And I think I've said this thing severally. Even the eyes that we are all, jumping up and down, they model the templates of, the Pi white paper when it comes to, utilities, reward assets, integrating web 3 to Web 2. And so far, so good. I feel that whatever the Pi Core team has been doing is for the best interest for everyone. The staking mechanism they brought into their feature is one thing I see. Oh wow, I think Nicholas is a genius because there come a time I had the urge to sell off. I see the ridiculousness of some people doing some bizarre thing like selling off their accounts, and sometimes I do get DM. Some people want to sell their pie. I'm like, why? Why do you want to sell it? Why can't you just you look at the staking mechanism, you can lock it, get your mind off it, because I think Mr. Benjamin has said this thing severally. On the day of open minutes, a whole lot of persons will be confused. um there might be a whole lot of emotional sentiment, sell off, should I hold, should I not sell, what's happening, there'll be confusion. In my own view, everywhere. And we begin to learn the Pi blockchain because over the years, the Pi has been on mainnet, but in an enclosed form. But on open mainnet, we begin to relearn again. Okay, what's the direction of the Pi core team? And that's where the emphasis of new knowledge comes into play. Over the years within my community, I've been inspired the white paper before even my organ on the street, Mr. Benjamin, did with Pache Morgan and Pache More Nigeria, helping people to understand what's coming into play. Because some people still think that this particular blockchain is it's something you see on maybe this one on Solana. Some even think that Pi is the name. It's quite sad, but this is where the emphasis of education comes into play. And over the years, we've seen how psychologically Pi has embedded it in the heart of those that understand this particular blockchain to know that you should see it as a currency, a means of
Hello? That we lost Biggie. Biggie
A
005.
call, a call came
We
in.
lost him.
A call came in. Am I still audible? Am I still audible?
In fact, your voice just got more audible than it was before. It's clearer now.
Okay,
It's
okay,
clearer now. Yeah. So
okay,
let's try to keep this submission related to the topic here and concise so that more speakers can also speak
okay.
too.
So
Yeah.
let me just round it up with the deadline issues and grace period. I saw it coming because I like within my own community, I know some several persons that have information from the Asian side, the whole development and everything. Even some, I think 2 or 3 persons within my community, they are running notes on their own, so they have good view and knowledge of what is coming. So I believe they are vast upgrade. Even yesterday, I did a liveness check. Okay, just to relate it, because many people think that Pi is a particular project, just like the one we see randomly on Telegram. You have multiple accounts in the Pi ecosystem. That is not so because of how well you have to often do KYC to prove that you're human. And just to relate it with this particular cartoon that I've watched over the years predicting the Pi itself, you can see the character of the baby, undergoing a KYC process, okay, to prove that she is qualified to be among the gifted children. So that's just what it is. And people need to understand that all this is to help the ecosystem be more sanitized. We don't need bots. Mr. Benjamin is here. I sent a message to him. I think he made a post about it, I think some months back. For me to send a message, I have to prove that I'm human by staking a particular, I think 0.25 pi. So this proves that this is a blockchain of um, great, value. So me proving that, look, I'm a human, I can now proceed to, do more interactions and all of that. So I believe along the line, people want to, educate and still say more things when the open mainnet happens, and this is where more value comes in. I think that's why they brought the influencers program to help other persons new persons that will be onboarded, because I believe there'll be new persons onboarded when open mainnet happens eventually. So the influencers programs will still give more privilege for people to still understand this particular blockchain more than ever. So that's just my little submission. Thank you for all you've been doing over the years. I yield my mic for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
We have Mr. Hughes that's back here with us. Mr. Hughes, your hand has been up for a while. Do you mind sharing what it is you have in mind? Thank you.
GM to everyone. I'm Mr. Odi by Cameroon. My boss, Benjamin, a big man. I'm Pi Network. No, the father of Pi Network. Let me say, I like the content that Benjamin shares with the community, and I like it. I love it. I always like to be in his basis. Very educative, informative, and I like it. And all of you, I want to say hi. I don't have time. I want to say one or two things. I want to first of all, I would appreciate the time that you gave me to speak. I want to raise 2 or 3 points. First of all, when it comes to this issue of deadline postponement, I would think like it is the only core team. The first time they say they say the deadline of whatever the deadline of KYC was September, the end of September, and then they postpone again and again. So I don't know. This raises a question of why the core team postponed this KYC issue, because even they could have avoided it and say, let's open the network, and then anyone who didn't do the KYC, they remain with their coins, and then when they wake up, they just do the KYC and the parcel process, and they get their coins migrated. But if they didn't do that and they say, let us have that deadline for anyone who has been mining KYC to get KYC and migrated his or her coins. Why shouldn't they stick on one deadline? Because like when they just keep postponing, that feeling of their competence of completing this issue. Even 1 month is not enough to complete the whole system, whole this kind of KYC thing. So if they could not be have if they have not done it for the whole 4 years, do you think that it is enough for 1 month to complete all these people who have not done the KYC to complete the whole process? No, I don't think. But it's better for them to either avoid it, to forfeit the billionaires coins, and whenever billionaires wake up and see people are doing the network is open, they just come and do the KYC and get passed and they get their coins, or they just stick to their points of deadline. So when they say this month is the end of the network, this process, they should do it because that is how we believe them. Uh, but if they just keep postponing, let's say, this issue because people are not fulfilling the conditions. Let us postpone it. That is, it says a lot about the core team and their faith on the project. Because in my standpoint, it's not like anyone's standpoint, just my standpoint. Because I've been mining for years, and those years I did my KYC. I
It looks
think
like Mr. Yu has been disconnected. Can anybody hear him?
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting him. I'm getting him from my end. I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
can hear
yeah.
him also.
Sorry, I don't know if you. Oh, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, yes, Mr. Hugh. Go.
So I want to for me, I did my KYC some years, 1 year and something back then. After up to now, I'm on a tentative. So and the core team are not addressing about the bending and the attentive pioneers. They just talking about the KYC, KYC, KYC. So why don't they even try to figure out the issue of attentive and bending instead of KYC issue? Because that is where many pioneers, I think almost if they are not 1 million or 2 million, maybe 3 or 4 millions are bending or maybe in a tentative uh, situation. So I don't know why core team are so. I cannot describe it because it is giving me a kind of disbelief that the core team are not um, are not ready to open the network soon. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Hughes. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, your train of thoughts with us. And uh,
Um, if I'm coming, I'm sorry, Mr. You. I don't think many partners realize that being authentative means that
Yeah, yeah,
your
Mr.
pie is
Nyan.
safe. And mhm, being authentative means that your pie is safe and the deadlines in the grace period does not actually count against you. It means that even if you're authentative beyond the grace period, it means that automatically your pie is already safe, right? Being authentative, I was on tentative approval for over a year. Over a year. That was even before this grace period started. All right. But pioneers who are on tentative um, just do not have to worry. I think all you have to do is wait. There are some pioneers that may have been validating and then they go back to tentative. I personally do not know why the tentative thing is there or what it does actually um, for the core team on their end. But uh, nobody's losing their pie because they're on tentative and the deadline is counting. You know.
yeah,
Benjamin, you have some comments on that?
I agree.
Yeah, I want to say two things based on what Mr. Yu has done. So I think one thing that we are doing is making criticisms, even though constructive, on a baby that is crawling. And we are asking questions, assuming that baby is walking, running, or jogging. I think we need to go back to why the KYC. What is the KYC? And how is the KYC? The KYC as a solution is at a pre-machine learning algorithm phase where the algorithm is learning. Do you know that by the time that the algorithm is fully deployed, it should take you minutes from applying for KYC,
It really looks like my network is
paying
bad
your
because I
KYC.
can't hear anybody. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you, Woody. Can you guys
Uh,
hear me?
it's not me,
Oh
it's
my
not me,
God, I'm
Benjamin. We can all hear
disconnecting.
you.
Would you please take me
Uh,
back, please? Let me reconnect.
Please exit off your mic, please. Yeah, everybody's hearing you. It's your network. Why is that?
Okay. So what I was saying is that this machine learning algorithm that the solution KYC will be built around, when it is fully matured, you will apply, pay your 1 pi, upload your document, get that document redacted, and get a feedback, and your feedback joins the migration queue, and your tokens get migrated in a defined, sustainable process. Thus, whatever we are going through is a reflection of the bottlenecks and the wrong data in some cases, as at the end of the day, it is good, vital, and important that only but valid data feed the machine learning algorithm. From a database administration perspective, now I'm not speaking on behalf of the core team, but back in my university days when I was pretty much in the lab and we're doing a lot of data warehouses, database infrastructure, one of our querying strategy, one of the issue that we know that helps us in query is the issue of non-repudiation. I have said this in many spaces. If the core team did not involve us in the KYC process, I think the KYC would have been cleaner and more perfect than what it is. Because the emulation servers are with them, they pick the data, they kick it, they accept it, but we will still come back with the gloating and the complaint that even the KYC that on documents ought to be a decentralized KYC is not actually decentralized. But nobody is taking responsibility for the wrong data we, the community of validators, have done. Haven't you heard of people who have kind of like in our own Nigerian sense, make we raise leg for that person because na Ninja. The person probably sent the right document under the wrong theme. So we want to think on behalf of the person. And we forget that we ought to think on behalf of the machine. Machine will not involve emotions, but while we are validating, we are involving emotions because this is my Ninja guy now. He ought to have uploaded premium name slip, but his premium name slip is under the same national ID, while he ought to have chosen premium name slip or his international passport or his national ID is under the same passport. So now, from a non-reputation perspective, if that person has KYC'd me and he did it right, and he all of a sudden he then KYC'd Woody and he did it wrong, him as a validator, there's a question mark on him. What I will do from a database perspective is that I will sample all the validations. Somebody's mic is on. I will sample all the validations that this person have done and push it back into the cycle for a validation. Randomly, that's what I would do from a systems administration perspective. Why? Him as a validator is no longer non-repudiate. On the contrary, he is repudiate. He is not that 100% trustworthy because in as much as he validated Benjamin correctly, he didn't validate Woody correctly. Now, Benjamin, who was validated by him correctly, I don't know why, but I can just find myself brought back into revalidation cycle. This is not emotions involved. It's feeding the machine learning algorithm with as much certainty of valid data such that when that baby is now matured, in split seconds, he will pick, redact, process, give feedback, push to migration, migrated, as long as you have that 1 pi to pay. So yes, we will go through the snail-like, turtle-like work process if we kind of look at this as slow, if only it will fit the machine learning algorithm with more than 99% valid data. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say that Mr. Yu rightly point out is the postponement. Actually, it's only 2 postponement, not 3 postponement. The first postponement was in September, and the second postponement was probably today. So we shouldn't say 3 postponement, actually 2 postponement. And there are things that I'm seeing in the war. So the first postponement is different from the second postponement. And this is just me being a theorist here. The first postponement, when it was shifted from September to the last day of November, the core team pretty much rallied her energies on partnerships and Pi Fest and Map of Pi. But in this second postponement, there is media engagement. And you guys might not be ready to see the impact of the outcome of the article on media engagement in the next 30 days. I believe from a trust score, from a rating, the core team may not rate our ecosystem engagement high. Because if from the last document they claim 65 million accounts were created, permit me to say right now, we may be post 70 million, thereabout. And of that 65 million, only a little over 7 million are migrated, mainnet ready. What is the rating between, of what rating is 7 to 65, or rather 7 to 70? That's less than 10% performance. If the whole goal is that we all find ourselves to express ourselves in the open ecosystem, and only but less than 10% of us are ecosystem ready, you who is the solutions developer, what is your trust score? What is your rating? And in as much as they have given the open mainnet conditions, those were minimum benchmarks. That's not probably the peak. It means that if nothing happens, this should be the data that are active at open mainnet. Thus, I see the core team drawing from the feedback of the first postponement and doing something to scale up, most especially when the postponement is coming alongside a publication for media engagement, institutional media engagement. So pretty much we should probably not draw the curtain, probably reconvene after 30 days and see if this second postponement was actually strategic. I mean, if we begin to see media houses requesting for interviews, and the core team begins to make public real-time data as far as the ecosystem is concerned, and then media houses go an extra mile to begin to interpret this data to the viewers across print, interactive media, you name it. Are we trying to say that this development coming alongside the postponement may not create a massive ramping up of attention and participation?
It will
Probably
create
we
Pi pandemic. Pi
eh?
pandemic.
So we may
I
even
said it
see
will create pandemic.
exactly, we may even see double of what we have been doing thus far in the last 30 days. Like it can happen. And this is where I will say that the core team are not just folding their hands. Of course, the first extension did what it ought to do, but the second extension kind of looks as if they are now involved and they want to break banks. They are now ready now to take public opinions and dialogue with the public. We are just talking today. Today is 30th. Probably tomorrow, next tomorrow, or on Monday, we may just see an important information on our minor dashboards of 1, 2, 3 interviews. Probably it's going to be an interview roller coaster for the month of December. Do you understand the dynamics, the fever, the very month where pretty much performing all coins are pretty much taking a bullish narrative, the same pretty much the same month where we are pretty much less than 50 days to the swearing in of Donald Trump, and pretty much every corners are being tightened up because as we enter January is a different bullish narrative. Do you understand? I mean, MSBN, CBC, you name it. These are print media. Probably those who pretty much have established themselves as a journalism warehouse on social interaction platforms like YouTube, like Twitter. They also pretty much right now have already secured their slots. So we may see Nicholas and Fen going through an itinerary of interviews like back to back from January 1 to probably January 31st. That alone will change the whole narrative. And if it change the whole narrative, then will we come back and tell Nicholas we are sorry for giving us how many years for us to achieve migration and we failed and he did it in 30 days? Will we come back and tell Nicholas sorry? Or will we still hide under the pretext of shame and say no, but he should have gone to open mainnet? The truth of the matter is this: I have read the white paper back to back to back. I've read opinions of people I've respected. The only thing that will happen if you have not applied for KYC when the timeline is over is that what you have already mined may be burnt, but that doesn't stop you from minting again. It's just that the clock will be reset. And if the clock is resetted,
And
you want to say something, Woody?
yeah, I was going to add that. And it's not even everything. They are still going to get the part that was mined 6 months before whenever it is that they migrate.
Exactly. So pretty much, it's definitely a more sustainable initiative, economic model wise, than to just, okay, when you are ready, just apply. I mean, let's not forget from the white paper, if the PICOR team could do a good job criticizing the Bitcoin blockchain on the Bitcoin blockchain's economic model, and the PICOR team says that their blockchain is going to bring about a balance between accessibility and scarcity. One thing that we know about accessibility and scarcity is that it creates three narratives. When the currency of a blockchain, when the token is in too much supply, that means accessibility is high, and there is no scarcity model, that coin will never have value. That's one narrative of accessibility slash scarcity. Another narrative is that when that very token is not accessible, it is difficult for somebody to get. At the same time, the scarcity model is also very scarce. That coin can never be cheap. So on the left side, very easy to get, and there is no scarcity model. It's a dumb thing. On the right side, something is not easy to get, and if you don't try to get it, you are going to burn resources to get it. And even after you get it, what you are expected to get as supply, you only get less of what you were expecting yesterday, because it has an ongoing scarcity model. That currency will forever go up. That's the likes of Bitcoin. Then Pi is saying that we want to strike a balance between accessibility and scarcity. It means that moving forward, you will still have access to that token or coin. The only thing is that they cannot guarantee you will get it with ease, because there should be some sort of scarcity model. Gone are the days when I and Woody will mint 6, 5, 7, 12, 14 pi in one given hour. So if that's what we get in an hour, times 10, that's an idea what we get in 10 hours. Times 2, that's what we're going to get in 20 hours. And a little 4 hours on top of the 20 gives you an idea of what we are minting in a day. That translated what we're minting in a week. Who does that now? So we can see that accessibility is still there. You have a smartphone, you have internet access, you can download the app and you can start punching. But gone are the days when we're making 5 pi per hour, which translates to over 68 pi in a given day. So we now saying KYC should just be a flip-flop. Let's just start it. Let's just go to open mainnet. Whoever is ready, let him do. Pretty much it may alter that narrative to ensure balance between accessibility and scarcity. For sure, when the timeline is up, some pi would be burnt, and that speaks volume towards scarcity. Yet accessibility will still be on the upward. People who come will still have access, but you who fail to apply, I think your pi will be burnt for the period of application that you ought to have applied and you refuse. In other words, you are helping the core team make the ecosystem more scarce. That's just what I wanted to add to what Mr. Yusuf is.
Woody, I'm sorry. Let me ship something to what Mr. Benjamin just said. Sir, you should also.
Wait first, before you ship, make una clap for Benjamin abeg. Clap for Benjamin. He has put everything up so
Yeah,
well. Abeg go on,
Mr.
like
Benjamin.
like ship what you want to
I
ship.
want to. This is not actually my time, but to speak. But I really want to make a little adjustment to what you just said. See, burning only work with mainnet coins. Like when you want to talk about burning, even at the end of this postponement, when the core team are going to burn the tokens of people that were not able to meet up with submission of KYC and migration, it is not going to affect the total supply of the 100 billion. But whenever a bond, whenever a bond is done from the already migrated tokens, that is when the total supply will be reduced. And the bonding can be done deliberately. I can, with maybe based on due to my love for the ecosystem, I can just decide to bond 100 of my supplies. As I'm sending it to the bond address, there is a bond address. As I'm sending the token to the bond address, it will reflect on the blockchain data that so amount of tokens has been reduced till eternity, and that can never be minted again. And one thing we should understand is, according to Pi Network tokenomic, the 100 billion token that were minted is going to be the overall total number of tokens that will ever be minted, but it can only reduce from that 100 billion. Now nothing can ever be added again, according to the tokenomic that was released, was it 2020? So for that reason,
Hello, good
yeah,
runner.
I'm hearing you.
I don't think when Benjamin uses the word burn, he was using it in the conventional way with other crypto projects when they burn tokens. I believe, like how I was tweeting a lot this past few weeks, and I said that pioneers will be burnt from this deadline. I did not mean that their pie will just be burned
Oh,
away.
oh,
I know everybody should understand that we all know that the pie is going to go back to the mining pool. It is not
thank
burned. I don't think
you,
Pi
thank
Network is
you.
built with a kind of model that supports
Okay.
burning because of
I
how it
actually
is
thought,
built. And as regards the yeah, and as regards the 100 billion pie, you see, because of how Pi Network is not built to support the idea of
mm,
burning, there's actually a caveat. There's actually a possibility that more than 100 billion pi can actually be created. There's room for inflation if the governance of the network decides upon it. Why? Because some, in fact, as we are speaking, some pi have actually been burnt already in the sense that you were speaking
oh
about
yeah,
burning. How? Those pioneers who have migrated pi to their wallet, but they have lost their wallet passphrase, it means that that pi is gone, it is burnt. So already we have we have less than the 100 billion total pie that was created for the network because many pioneers have lost their passphrases and those pie have been gone forever. So in the white paper, it is mentioned there that because of cases like this, whereby pie is lost out of the supply due to people losing their pie or people dying and access to their wallet is gone, there can actually be the possibility of minting more supply that is creating inflation just so that the purpose of pi can actually work well, which is making pi useful as a utility coin and not just speculation whereby people burn to increase the price of the coin. You get
oh
it?
yeah. So thank you so much for
Yeah.
that correction, Mr. Woody. Um, let me just say a little thing, and then I will just crank everything up.
Okay.
I really want to appreciate everybody here, most especially Mr. Woody. You have been doing a very great job for Pi Network ecosystem, and I think I came across your post through Pi Revolution X somewhere in the year 2021, and since then I've been following up. You have really, really done so much for the community, and this is not something I really want to hide from saying. So thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin, Pi Podcast,
Thank
everybody
you.
who has been in this space. For us to spend this much time, it shows how much trust we have for Pi Network, and we believe one day all of our effort will yield result. So the moment they made that postponement back, there was a lot of chaos in among the community that these people are not serious. They've started again, this and that. I so much believe that this thing was coming, and this is not something to panic about at all. This is not a problem because initially the announcement that was made when they introduced this issue of deadline was there is going to be two deadlines. The first one is going to be about KYC, while the second one will be about migration. So they are all working to meet the same aim. So whether or not this KYC was postponed or not, that does not mean that the migration was going to be postponed. And for the fact that the migration was December, ending of December, and then it is still December. These people that will come up and said because they have changed the first migration deadline, they postpone it. There's not going to be mainnet this year, 2020. Those they really do not. Me, whenever I see an official statement from a vital statement from the core team, the first thing I would do before I make any criticism is to go and read the statement by myself. When I digest the statement, most of the time I will see people arguing on Twitter or on Pi chat. I would not like to engage with them because I believe that these people are speaking out of ignorance. There is a white man say something that the best way to hide something from, okay, let me. He said the best way to hide something from average persons is to hide it in the middle of a book. So for the fact they fail to even understand the source from which this statement is coming from which this information is coming from, it means that they are not really interested in knowing what is really happening among the community. So initially, it has been two. So for if the problem would have been changing that December own. If the December own was adjusted due to this adjustment, then we would have now say, okay, these people really do not. All along, this December own were there when they kept saying we are working towards meeting our mainnet, our open mainnet goal. All they have made mention of this thing between May this year to this very moment not less than 7 times in various of Nicholas announcement, both the one he's given by himself, the official announcement, or the so all this thing kept coming concurrent. It means these people are working seriously. I saw a Discord, what is it called, question that was answered by one of the Pi Network, what is it called, moderator, that yes, somebody asked if at all we are still going to meet up with this open mainnet this year. He said yes, but he cannot give the exact date at the moment because it is not in the position of. It means these people are working seriously to meet up with this December deadline, and if at all the core team could not meet up with the deadline, it means the delay is first of all deliberate, and secondly, the fault is on them. Because at the moment, I'm very proud of everything that each of the um, community member have been doing, because we have put so much effort into making this December deadline a reality. Like at the moment, we have over 15 million KYC pioneers, but they don't want to announce it now. We have over 90 working app among Pi Network in the Pi Network ecosystem. So what else are we waiting for? The Pi the Pi blockchain at the moment can process millions of transactions in one day. Millions of transactions in one day. So it means if we have over 14 million, over 15 million KYC person waiting for migration, it means they can just click this migration in one day and more than 4 million person can be migrated. Okay, maybe let's just reduce the workload, because at the moment over 7 million transaction can be processed on the Pi blockchain in just one day, based on the Stellar listing that was upgraded recently. Stellar protocol that was upgraded recently. So if at all we cannot even meet with this December open mainnet, it means deliberately Nicholas and Feng decided not to move everybody into open mainnet. And then I want to assure the committee that there is going to the chaos that you see, the level of chaos that you see during this postponement is going to be little compared to what people will say. And then, and again, do you people also realize that the IOU price started depreciating the moment that announcement was made? Because crypto market is a sentiment market. It works with sentiment. It does not care with what you are saying, with what is happening, with it is just what. For example, I can just wake up and say, Kai, this thing is dumping, and then everybody will go and sell. And because everybody is selling, automatically the market is dumping already. This is our crypto market. It will just work with what people are feeling about that project at that moment. So nothing else, nothing more. So if at all this December mainnet will not be reached, still expect Pi IOU to reach the price of 20 to 30 something United States dollar, and it is bound to happen. It is just so bound to happen. So at the moment, one thing I am very, very sure of is we are ready for open minute. Pi Network is ready, the community is ready, the ecosystem is ready, technologically, we are ready. Everything needed for the transition is at the moment available. And if at all we are not going to be transitioned at the end of, I am very like Woody would likely say. He said on the eve of December 31st, is still very optimistic that we are transitioning. And that is my belief also. That on the eve of December, if at all there is no official statement before December 30, December 30th, 31st, I will still tell my friends and my community that people should get ready for open mainnet. I told them the eve of December 2021 that we are seeing mainnet, but I couldn't tell them the exact mainnet, because already before that time they already made mention that we are going to be having two mainnet. and close and then open. I told them, and it happened. So this year 2024, on the if at all there is no official statement before 30th, I so much believe. I believe in the I join my faith with the faith of Woody that we are seeing mainnet this year. And if we are not going to see it, the core team should be held responsible, and it is because of their of I will now proudly say that it is because of their greed. Do any one of us saw what Jatin posted yesterday? He came to initiate a new mining section, and then an advert pop up. Now this advert is manipulating people. Now imagine somebody who just got migrated, doesn't know about anything, and then a little bit greedy will now click on it, insert the key phrase, and then all the pie that the person mind will be. So all of there's so much disadvantage to this lingering enclosed mainnet, to the advantage. There are a lot of disadvantage to this continuous and consistent close mainnet to the advantage. And one of the disadvantages is this thing that just happened yesterday. So a lot of persons are losing their. I really want to appreciate what Wood is doing. Like this sensitization about on chain lockup. It really will. I myself, I have been mining Pi since 2019. I joined Pi Networks December 2019. But personally, I have not been migrated. But a lot of persons, a lot of people in my community have been migrated. I have been on tentative for a very long time, and then I believe a time is coming. So, but in due from my own personal effort, I have been able to carry on transaction legally, and I have Pi on my Pi schema, which is ready for. If I want to sell the Pi I have in my Pi schema with the current black market rate, I can just sell it and be okay for the rest of the for a very long time. I can sell it and I'll just be okay with the current and this is real effort I put in places to get all of these things by selling, having one pie, two pie, three pie, four pie. I gather them and have close to, but I have not been migrated. So I'm saying this to encourage a lot of us who are still in the same. I am very, very optimistic about Pi Network, and I have not for once lost my faith. I so much believe. I know how much effort I have put in places, traveling from places to help people KYC. And doing this, somebody might think that, okay, it's because I have already received my Mind Pie. I haven't received my Mind Pie. I have not seen my free Mind Pie. The pie I have, I bought it with my money and through transaction, carrying on what is it called? Mal transaction on Pi Shema. So at the moment, I want to summarize my saying by using this statement that if we are not going to be transitioned at the end of this year 2024, the fault is not from any of the pioneer, is not from any one of us. The fault is from Nicholas and then Frank, because I so much believe that a lot of decisions that Nicholas is a lot of decisions that Nicholas is making are being decided by Frank. It is Frank that is making almost all the decision. And you will notice this whenever Frank and Nicholas appears on video podcast. Yes, I'm saying the truth. If they are asking question about Pi network price and then all of those critical questions, before Nicholas will say something, Frank will just jump in. And we are not supposed to talk about this now. We are not supposed to, and all of those stuff. So you really believe that? No, I'm very serious with you. This has happened not once, but
Um,
twice.
if coming, if I'm going to come in, excellent submission,
I swear.
but your conclusion is not 100%
All
correct.
right. Okay.
If we do not go to the open mainnet come January 1, it is not a core team's problem.
Okay.
So let's go back to Alex. You make a statement that we all are ready. I'm sorry, sir, we are not ready.
Oh, I'm ready. Even not being migrated, I'm still
We are
ready.
not, you are ready, but over 75 million, a significant population or a significant percentage of 75 million users who currently have a Pi Miner app on their smartphone are not ready. The core team said that the wallet that we'll be using a non-custodial wallet. Do you have data that proves that more than 35 million of the 70 million know how to use a non-custodial wallet, sir? So how are they ready? Because if you don't know how to use a non-custodial wallet, and non-custodial wallet is the core of your open mainnet interaction, it means you're not ready for open mainnet. This is white. This is white and black. Two, open mainnet is subject to three conditions: KYC, migration, and utilities. So what happens if after we finish talking, close to 15% of validation on the migration portal are wrong validation? Tell me we can migrate. Everybody start validating every rubbish. You see picture of toilet, you validate. You see picture of poster, you validate. You see picture of this, you validate.
I very good.
So now I want to, he made a very sensitive statement, and I want to contextualize that statement. Let's know that one, we are not ready. Nicholas may be ready. The node community, those who are running super nodes, may be ready to move from testnet to mainnet. But one thing I cannot tell you is that validators are ready. Maybe Woody know more than me. So Woody is in a position to tell us whether the community of validators are ready. Then finally, the community of who will go to the open mainnet, are we ready? So pretty much let that sink in. This is why oftentimes, I don't know for Woody, oftentimes I get tired. But when we get feedback and we realize that these guys don't even get the gist, we go back again to say this and this and that. The users that are in Pi Network, what are the three primary marketplaces that the blockchain is building for? Who can name it off heart? The three primary marketplaces, and trust me, those three primary marketplaces do not include crypto exchanges. I repeat, it does not include crypto exchanges. Crypto exchanges is definitely a potential fourth marketplace. Who know these three marketplaces? How positioned are they for these three marketplaces? Who understood the implication of PyFest and the data generated from Map of Pi? Do the majority of the population of the community understood the data that came out from PyFest, that we have over 23,000 real markets and around 20-something thousand test market? Do they understand the implication of that? So how can we, from what metrics can we say we are ready for open mainnet, if not that we are ready to dump Pi in Binance, in BitGet, in Huobi? That is what we are ready for.
That's why.
And not the primary marketplaces that the blockchain is building for. Fireside is a litmus social experiment of one marketplace, alongside profiles. How many of you are active on Fireside and profiles? Yet you claim you are ready. The Pi Fest and Map of Pi was a social experiment towards the other marketplace. How many of us fully participated in the Pi Fest and pretty much generated data? And who will say they are proud that they offered data towards the Map of Pi? How many of you are currently patronizing and working alongside the distributed application or decentralized applications that will be built on Pi which we call the dApps, the utilities. How many of you are engaged fully on them? If you are in none of these three, technically you are not ready for open mainnet. You're only ready for the firewall being brought down. Let's just tell the truth. The reason why you are here is because you hear that firewall is an attribute of enclosed mainnet. So open mainnet implies that firewall will be brought down. And the first thing about firewall being brought down is that Pi can be traded for all the currencies. And right in your head is USDT that is in your head. This is what we are ready for. So if majority of us are really burnt on that aspect of the open mainnet that has to do with the bringing down of the firewall, how will our collective activity of converting all our pies on our portfolios into alternative currency be productive to the ecosystem? Are we not actually on standby to be counterproductive for the ecosystem? So I kind of feel, sir, we are not ready. Thank you very much.
Omo, I don't hear, we never ready o. More of una wey dey wait to cash out 314,159. 314,159
Moody, I'm
for
very
one
sorry. Let me
pie.
chip in a little thing. A little more
Wait,
thing,
oh, wait,
please.
oh, wait, oh, wait. Oh.
Okay, sir.
Kryptonite hand has been up. Let him contribute as well.
Mm.
Kryptonite.
Yeah, GM, everyone in the space. This space
GM,
has been
GM.
awesome. This space has
I
been
saw
lovely. GM, Mr. Ben, you have been doing it as usual. That is what you are good in doing. I really appreciate. Thanks for the lesson and for the solution and for what you are doing in the Pi ecosystem. Thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, and also GM to all the listeners, all the speakers. I'm happy to be in your midst. Yes, regarding our topic today, we say Pi Network KYC deadline issue and grace period. For me, I will say that the PICO team, they know what they are doing. But for somebody like me, I know that this postponement will come. I know. And the PI team know what they are building. They'll know when everything is ready. They are the ones, they have the data, they have everything to know what if this thing, what we are doing, if we are at that stage that we should go to open mainnet. So for us to be in a haste, like Mr. Benjamin said, most of us are just waiting to dump. That is the most thing that's the most people that are complaining that the minute this. We don't have to complain. These guys know what they are building. They told you that they are building what that have never been built before. People that challenge the Bitcoin white paper, they are telling that they are doing something different. It's not, some of us are just seeing Pi network as just as other coins which we are mining in the crypto space, which maybe we mine 1 month, 2 months, it goes to mainnet, we sell off, and then we face another one. No, Pi network, the core team are trying to solve a real life utility for us to use our Pi coin, just as we use our fiat currency to exchange goods and services. This is what these guys are doing. They are not building a pump and dump coin. They are not building a speculative asset as what is currently happening in the market. These guys are doing something different. They know the best. They started this, they know what they want. They know what is good for the community. Now I'm talking about the KYC postponement. Yeah, if you majority of us haven't passed the KYC. Majority of us are tentative. Why majority of us our documents and our name on our Pi profile is not doesn't tally, and they are giving us the grace. They are giving us we should be appreciative to them for giving us that grace to correct all these errors, because there are so many errors which pioneers have been facing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There's a third name in your ID.
Okay. Okay. Won't to affect the person's registration since the middle name is not there?
No, it will. It would not. Your first name and last name are enough. Whoever is validating will also see. We see that your first name and your last name means that it is you. The third name is just a middle name, right? And addition. If you want, if there's an option available for you to add your middle name to your account and you're interested in doing that, you can do that if you want. But honestly, it's not compulsory. It's not needed.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Mm.
We have Mr.
Okay.
We have Mr. Jimmy. Mr. Jimmy hand has been up. Let's do this quick. Mr. Jimmy.
Okay.
GMGM Woody, GMGM Plus, GMGM Stability. Please, I have a question to ask regarding tentatively. I was already a validator before now, and I've done my. I did my KYC through the mass KYC thing. But suddenly I observed like 2 3 months ago, my symptoms were changed to tentatively after I've already even tried to validate some people. Up till now, the status has not changed. I don't know if there's anything I can do to it.
Oh, we have yeah we have addressed this a couple of times on the space already. I don't know if you're here or not, but we already said that anybody on tentative, regardless of when or how you whether you were a validator before and you were taken to tentative, all you just have to do is wait. You
Okay.
just have to do is wait it out, and there's nothing else you can do.
All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's nothing else you can do.
All right. Thank you, Hody, for that. Rollins, you have something to share. Rollins, Isaac. Isaac.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm so
Afternoon.
delighted for this online space, particularly for Pi Network participant. I'm so grateful, at least, for meeting people like this to know that I'm not the only one doing Pi. At least I've seen a lot of people, so I'm so delighted. I also thank most especially person behind this space. So please, for what I want to say quickly is the valid ID card that is required. Can somebody use NIN slip or our Nigerian voters card? I just want to be clear about those two things.
We have posted. There's a flyer that is very popular going around that carries all the valid IDs, and I've also posted it a couple of times on Twitter. This is also the reason why we ask pioneers to actually pay attention to content, especially content that informs, and be in community groups where these things are also there. So that even if you're not able to come on space and ask questions like this, because some people might not be able to or privileged to, at least you can also be in the loop and see that you are guided in doing the right thing. Right? There are only five valid documents for Nigeria: standard NIN, premium NIN, national ID, driver's license, and international passport. Voter's card is a no. The paper slip NIN is a no. Doesn't work. So those are the only five acceptable ones.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Max Journalist. Max Journalist, you have something to say? It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, Chindo,
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
loud and clear.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are listening from, because I know the internet space is a global village. Okay, first thing
Mhm.
first, I want to thank you, Mr. Woody, for your great job. I've been following you for a very long time. Okay, the area I
Thank you.
really want to talk about is regarding the deadline and um, the KYC deadline and the grace period. Okay, you see, looking at the strategy of the core team, it's very, very strategic because if they have informed everybody that the deadline will be 30th or 31st December 2024, there will be this nonchalant attitude towards the whole thing. So that's why they made it known first thing that it will be 30 September. So, and they shifted it to November again. It is all strategic because they have to do this to waken everybody up. Okay. So, but I know the
Correct.
final deadline will be December. So it's all strategic. And then looking at the issue of people getting worried about the minet, it's as if they are in a haste to see the minet come. You know, I realize that time is that if no one asks me, I know. But when I try to explain to one who knows not, I do not know. The fact I want to make clear here is that people shouldn't be in a haste because it's only in Black Africa that we are always in a haste to conclude anything we are researching on. But for the Western world, they make out time, they spend time on it. Even if it will take them 30, 50 years, they make sure that thing comes out very, very successful. So what I'm trying to say here now is this. We should give the city time because they know what they are doing. They are specialists, they are experts. Okay. So a lot of pioneers locked their pie for 90%, and it's for 3 years. They only have, even if we go to mainnet now, they only have 10% to spend or to do anything with. So it's only few persons that locked theirs for 1 year, and most people never knew the counting haven't started. It can only start when you get migrated. So people have almost 3 years to wait, 2027. So I don't know the reason why everybody seems to be in a haste for open minded when you really know that your 90% is locked for 3 years, which will come up 2027. Okay. So regarding KYC and Nigeria, the challenges Nigerians are facing, most of us that are validators, we find out that Nigerians are submitting this slip, and that plastic slip is not being approved, and a lot of them are submitting. Even me that is validating, I got tired at a point seeing them keep submitting it. It's as if they are not coming to Twitter space, they are not following Woody to know that this plastic slip is no longer, is not approved, is not something that is approved upon. Okay, so let me really quickly round up because I wouldn't want to take our much of our time. I want to look at this issue of people. There is this person that bought two pizza with 1 Bitcoin. That was a decade ago. So whatever pie you have, value it. Don't be in a haste to dump or sell because it took the Bitcoin almost 8 to 9 years before it became what it is today. So we shouldn't be in a haste. We have to encourage each and every one of us. If those that have not started mining, encourage them to come in because this is the future. Pi is the future. So I thank you, Woody, for giving me this opportunity to speak. I'm somehow a little bit nervous because this is my first time speaking in a space, and I'm somebody that have a stage fright. Okay, so I thank every one of us. It's not easy. Okay, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you have spoken well, Miachindo. You did not speak like someone that has stage fright. Thank you. brief submission. Something struck me as Mayor Chinda was speaking about the KYC extension. I just thought back and remember that, see, in the white paper, December 2021, the 6 months grace was supposed to be for KYC, right? For KYC. I'm not sure if migration was mentioned there. Even if it was, the idea was that pioneers will have 6 months grace to do KYC. They did not put there that there was going to be that KYC was going to be for 3 months or 5 months. So it was like should I say strategy, maybe a new strategy to make it more effective, intentionally reduce the KYC deadline to September 30 to create that sense of urgency and drive people more as you extend it and the deadline gets closer and people wake up and extend it again. So they always knew right from the white paper then, as we could see, that the entire 6 month grace period was actually created as a KYC grace. And this extension thing that we are seeing happen now is just a performance to create the effect that the pie cutting wants. Yeah. Um, so I I will just lastly, I think lastly, from the speakers, Mr. Yes, I think Mr. Yu wants to bring back some comments he has been wanting to for a long time. And after Mr. Yu, we'd like Mr. Benjamin to, uh, finish up what he was saying before the network broke up, and we'll close the space with Benjamin's final submission. I'm sorry, the space has gone on for so long. I'm so hungry. I need to eat, and we we still have next weekend to do spaces. Maybe we'll be doing these spaces every weekend. So if you can't speak now, I'm sorry. I apologize. You do well to show up next weekend, and we'll be having more spaces as the open mainnet date draws nearer by the end of the year. Mr. Yu?
Hi everybody, good
Uh,
evening. Can I speak something?
hello.
Yes?
Yeah, this is
Yes, go on.
this is Mask Journalist. Actually, I'm from India, Jammu and Kashmir. So the
Okay.
session is very nice. I'm just enjoying. It is actually the Pi Network KYC deadline issues and grace period. I will take you to my journey to the Pi Network, that what I have faced till now. Actually, I have joined the network in the late 2019. So till date, I am still on the tentative approval, not getting the fully approval to the mainnet. I don't get even one pi in my wallet. Still, I am hoping that that the PCT will do something for me. Even my wife has also the pi, but she get migrated in the minutes, in the seconds. But still, I am hoping that the grace period, I was actually hoping that the grace period should be extended, and that actually the PCT is doing something good job in this matter, because if we don't have the tentative issue resolved, then there is no meaning to open the mainnet before getting the old pioneers their pie in the wallets. This is the fact that many pioneers are just going the impatience, that we are waiting for the for the years, but still the open minded is not there. But there are also the many pioneers who are waiting from the years, just like me. I'm waiting from the years, still I'm not getting nothing. I'm getting the approval, sometime I'm getting tentative to KYC full. Then they take me back to the tentative approval. I have done the validation also, but I am not getting those things. I am not going to there is no option for me to validate the other pioneers, so that I can acquire some pies. But still I am hoping that PCT will do the best job in this month. And I hope. And taking talking to about the Woody, he's a great man. I'm just following you from the years, and I got the motivations that one day we'll get something from the pie. and following you and other people's also. So I'm just telling you everybody that please be patient. PCT will do some great job. They will get the resolve the KYC issues. They will get the done. If I am here from the years and waiting from the my pies to migrate to the wallet, but still I am patient. I take the fully patience and waiting and just following the people who are the influencer actually, Woody and many Jatin, and there is always Pi News and Pi PO. There are peoples that who are always talking about the Pi. So this was my, and I hope that you peoples will do some magic also. We'll connect with each others, and we'll stay resilient. We'll stay the patience till the PCT will resolve the deadline issues. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nice to talk you all.
Thanks. Very bye. Wonderful information. Yeah. Um. Uh.
I think we would like to get
Yeah.
after you.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. You. Let before Mr. You, Pillionaire. Pillionaire. Let Pillionaire come in. I just like the name Pillionaire. You remember when we
Yeah.
used to
Yeah.
use that name years ago? We are not millionaires. We are billionaires.
GM guys. Awesome, awesome.
GM Pillionaire.
Uh, good
Um,
afternoon, everybody. Mr.
welcome
Ben
to space.
and Mr. Woody and other listeners. Me, I just joined Pi. Don't mind that name that you see there, Piloneer. Huh? So don't mind the name. Yeah, I just want to answer something more than a billionaire. So I have to just use that bit, Piloneer. So please, I sent a
Right.
message to your this thing. The stage I am now. After they said checklist to mainnet. So I sent a message. Yeah, but I'm in the last stage. So
You
I'm in the
just
last stage. I don't know
yeah, you just have to wait.
to this space now. Under
Yeah, you just have to wait.
okay, okay,
I've seen it. I've seen it.
okay. So I have to wait for what to migrate, or is it? Are they still
Yeah, you
validating?
just have to. No, you've done your KYC. Everything is your KYC is finished. You just have to wait
Okay.
for your Pi to arrive in your wallet. That's all.
Okay,
There's nothing else you have to.
KYC is completed. Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's
But
completed. It's completed.
why is it so fast here? Because I'm based in Germany. So fast, under 1 week, everything done. Under 1 week. I joined Pi not quite
Uh,
maybe 1 month now. Not 1 month only.
yeah,
So fast.
yeah. For some people, it happens like that. You have to mind for 1 month at least though, before you get KYC. So you've done that. You got to KYC. For some people, it just happens so fast.
Okay, okay.
I can't really
Yeah,
tell you
thank
why.
you for
Yeah,
your good work,
you're
eh?
lucky.
And Mr. Ben is an educator, eh? I always follow him anywhere I see him. I joined the space. Yeah, that man, he's a great man. Okay,
All right.
take care.
Of course, yes, yes. Thank you. Mr. You?
Uh, Mr. Woody, please,
GM?
yeah, GM, to thank you for this space and for the opportunity to also talk in this space. I'm very grateful. Please, I want to quickly ask.
Mr. Crown, your volume
Uh,
is so low. Please, can you come close to the mic?
oh, I am close to the mic. How is it now?
All right, go on.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yes. So, yeah, please. What I want to ask is that I've been on my KYC for over 2 years. The first time I did it was when 100 KYC was open for global pioneers. So I was among those 100 that did it then. I think that was the first time they are doing the test running or so. So I did KYC since then, and now I am stuck at that where I submitted my documents. So ever since it has been written waiting. I'm waiting for your KYC verification. So that is where I've been for over 2 years now. And I even helped my wife that started later after me to verify us. As doesn't take it just took days and it was verified. In fact, she's also a validator. But I don't know what happened. Why my case is this peculiar. I've been there for over 2 years. I've been stuck on that spot. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm even trying, probably if I can resubmit my KYC. There is no way for me to do that either. So please, I want to know what do I need to do? Because I'm just confused now. I don't know what to do.
Well,
So
Mr.
thank you so
Mr.
much.
Crown, just like what Mr. Wood was saying, it varies from different pioneers to pioneers, and just like Pi Billionaire said earlier, he submitted KYC and he got validated in less than no time. Now, the thing you want to do is you first of all want to check your information and make sure they align they align the same information. The information that is in your Pi account is literally the same with that which you have on the document that you submitted with, and everything is intact. Also, you want to make sure to verify your phone number, your email, because if you don't verify these things, sometimes they are the factors that retaliate your KYC verifications process. Other than that, if you have everything intact, it's very normal. It's not even, let me not say very normal. It's absurd, but a lot of people just like you have been in that same situation that have been under verification for years. So don't take it personal. Just stay don't be worried. Just stay patient. Your time is gonna come. You're gonna get validated like everyone else. Take for instance, Mr. Udi was talking to KYC for a very long period of time. I mean, his KYC validation was like in the Pi Network space. Everybody wanted him to pass KYC. Everybody was always yeah, but then he successfully passed KYC. So just be patient, and your turn is gonna come.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Mr. Hughes, you've been coming and going, coming and going. Mr. Yu, are you here?
Um, yeah, so okay, Pi Podcast, do not accept any more microphone requests so that more people do not keep adding to the list. Let's just allow the people on the speaker list here to clear out.
Okay, duly noted.
Right? Yeah,
Duly noted.
thank you. I think Mr. Yu is not here. So Zico, Chika, and Imasoft.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Am I
afternoon.
Afternoon.
audible?
Yes, we are here.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I just have a question concerning bio validation in Nigeria. Like, while I'm validating, some people, their documents are correct, like their standard name or premium name is usually correct, but they don't put it in card. It's usually sometimes laminated. Am I supposed to click no or yes when it's laminated? Thank you.
I'm not sure I got that.
Sometimes concerning validation in Nigeria, I think Woody and Benjamin.
The data in it that actually matters, right? The paper step is not accepted.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Um, who else? Chika was raising up his hand.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't know if you all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Speaker. Go ahead.
All right, my own is just a very simple question. I don't know if you guys can help me out with a an advice or maybe an answer. I've been with Pi since 2019. I've been mine since 2019. Uh, I've been very consistent with it. In fact, mine for over 1,500 days. But then I don't have KYC slots at all. like each time I click on KYC, it tells me that I have to mine for 30 days, and 30 days is not something compared to 1,500 days. I don't know if there's anyone that has a solution to it. I mean, because this December 31st, November deadline was bothering me, and now December 31st. My timing is first, and it does not. But what deadline and everything, my 5 days
Is your
have just.
timer is your timer paused or is it counting?
No, 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 the timer is paused.
If your timer is paused, you don't have anything to worry about now. I mean, you just wait for whatever it is that the pie cutting will do. It means that if the timer is paused, it means that no action is needed from your side. It is the pie cutting that needs to take action. So you just wait for them.
Right, that's very good.
Yeah. Just make sure you complete your minutes checklist and okay. Next person.
Mr. Udi. Yeah,
Okay.
hi, Mr. Udi. I had you calling me. I was a little bit busy. Yeah, mine is some it's about a question. Maybe just because as a pioneer network community, we have to have some any issues that is coming up. We should also discuss. Recently there was I don't know there was that bit that the information they shared the core team they said about people in the country that were sectioned. Maybe that the countries that were blacklisted by U.S. financial institutions, and they say they should. I don't know. They should fill a form, or I don't know. But what does it say about Buy Network and how? Because Buy Network was supposed to be a, co- Buy Network was supposed to be a cryptocurrency that can be accessible to everyone, wherever he lives, whichever country he's coming from. And the person who has been mining for a long time, then he was expecting to receive his KYC, and then the core team is saying people who are in a country that was sectioned should also submit something different. I don't know. So, what does it say about legitimacy? There's something behind the scene in a buy network. I don't understand why the core team are just maybe like why they're saying like people who are in a section, because this is not a government institution where you follow the orders of the government. This is a decentralized platform. This is a cryptocurrency platform that should be accessible to everyone. So what do you say? What is your opinion about that, Mr. Woody?
I'm sorry, I lost you. I'm not. I didn't really hear
Let me
most
try
of the things that you said.
and answer.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we
Mr.
can.
Ben.
Okay. So let's put things straight. Pi Network is building a truly decentralized product. Right now, the blockchain is not fully decentralized. If you read the white paper, the blockchain is hosted in some server called emulator servers in California right now. But at the same time, when we entered testnet, they then started testing what the blockchain should be. This is why we had people running nodes and supernodes, because the data from the emulator server and the data from the community of supernodes must be compared such that there will be a seamless migration, which should be the first event that will happen come open mainnet. Having said that, when migration is complete into a fully decentralized blockchain, those emulator servers will be shut down forever. Having said that, one thing we should understand when we say decentralization, We are not saying decentralization are independent of factors that matter to adoption. On documents, the company that is building the blockchain, Social Inc., is a registered entity in the United States. As a registered entity in the United States, they their feathers are chopped off. But again, you guys have heard us in many instances saying that the Pi blockchain is one of the blockchain that has gone the farthest when it comes to compliance and global adoption. Why are we saying this? Global adoption requires at least 4 stakeholders. One stakeholder is the user, which is you and me. The second stakeholder is the community of developers. This is the likes of Python Mall and any other dApp that will build on the blockchain. Those who are experts in smart contract, who will create narratives around smart contracts. The third stakeholder is institutional investors. These are the people who have real goods and services that may consider offering their services and goods and their product through the blockchain so that they can get revenue. The fourth stakeholder is compliance standard or governments. You cannot achieve full adoption if these stakeholders do not work in one direction. Of course, each of these stakeholders comes with their own disadvantages, and you've just highlighted one. So are we trying to say that in trying to achieve global adoption, Pi should go against regulatory standard? Pi should go against the parent country standard on sanctions? But right now we are beginning to see some easing. It means that behind the scenes, from the beginning where these countries were pretty much blacklisted because of regulatory sanctioning, we are beginning to see an opening up. It means that the blockchain, from day one, we're pressing buttons and giving whoever is the person sitting on compliance and standard that the more you are boxed, the more you will affect our drive to create a truly decentralized currency. Coincidentally, this is now happening around the time wherein we are going to open mainnet. And honestly, when one is denied, technically all is denied to a certain degree, because we who are stakeholders, users, we form only one niche. And if one of us is not captured, pretty much we feel the heat. But let's not forget, we are not the only stakeholders in the drive towards adoption. So yes, there are blockchains that seriously, there are many countries that do not even have what's the right word? Do not even have room for expression. It is decentralized because governance is not from one location. So yes, the blockchain seeks to be decentralized, but more than being decentralized, the blockchain also seeks to be fully global, or to ensure full adoption. So I think the right question is, when we do not have everybody in, there's a certain degree that our quest for global adoption may not be fully achieved. But that doesn't mean that even if these countries do not even get the pass mark, even though the writing on the wall looks as if we may find ourselves in an era where there will be no blacklisted nation, it doesn't change the fact of decentralization. Because decentralization in technical terms is hosting the blockchain from different locations. We have over 90,000 machines that have gone through testnet. and they are open mainnet ready. When the emulator servers are shut down, though the blockchain will be hosted from at least 90,000 locations across the world. At that rate, that is the most decentralized blockchain on the face of the earth, because even Ethereum is not as decentralized as that. So, pretty much to paraphrase or to conclude, your question speaks more around global adoption, because we at the user level, if one country is blacklisted, the users of that countries are part of us who form the stakeholder niche called user base. So we cannot say that it has achieved global adoption because that user location is part of the globe. But as of decentralization, whether they are, of course, decentralization does not have a standard metrics as long as it is not controlled from the center. Some blockchain decentralization metrics is 500 locations and it is still decentralized. Some blockchains is 1,600. So for us to have at least 90,000, that's to tell you that when we are talking of decentralization, we have achieved the goal when open mainnet comes live. But when it comes to global adoption, if there is a part of the world that based on regulatory interference, they cannot be allowed, that's where is an issue that we will have no option but to continue advocacy and advocacy until that threshold, that barrier is brought down. So I hope I try to paraphrase or rephrase your question and also put everything in the right perspective. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. So am I heard?
I can hear you.
Okay, so something is happening. I cannot see the stage dashboard. I cannot see anybody, not even myself, but the audio is still connected. So I'm blind. My podcast, you have to navigate us to close this space, please. After, if there's no more speaker that is left there that's supposed to speak, then Benjamin can give us the final close based on what he was talking about that time. I don't know if he still remembers, or if not, then we can close.
There are two more speakers who raised up their hand.
Okay.
Okay, let's
They
start.
can go. I can't see anybody at all.
Let's start.
Mr. Woody,
Let's start with
may I raise another question?
let's start with Dele. After Dele, then Emma Soft. Then we close. Dele, you can unmute your mic.
All right, Jem. Can you please hear me?
Yeah, please
Yes,
go.
we can.
All right. It's been some months back now that I submitted my ID for KYC, and by then my ID card has expired. Then, so I have to use my wife's own without knowing that the name were different. So right now, since then, it has been rejected due to wrong name. So I don't know. I've already renewed my ID card and my passport, and I would like to know whether there's a chance for us to do it afresh.
Yeah, go to the KYC button that rejected your application. There should be a button to reapply and follow likewise. First of all, you shouldn't have uploaded a data that is not yours. Even if you see a KYC slot and you do not have data, that doesn't mean you should just respond to the KYC with a wrong data. You are not able to the same of data integrity as far as the KYC process is concerned. But having said that, constantly check the KYC button, make sure the browser is updated, make sure your miner is updated, and check, because if it's rejected, there should be a button for you to reapply. And make sure you apply with the right documents. You have had it not once, not twice. The NIN paper slip is not accepted. So you need to go and get the premium slip or the standard name or your driver's license or international passport. So whatever ID you are saying you have now, hope it is not a voter's card and hope it is not the printed.
I'm not a Nigerian, so I'm from Togo, so I have my
All right,
national
that makes
ID card,
all
the
right. Then
original one.
sorry for that. As long
No
as
problem.
it's for your country, please act accordingly. But don't wait. You will not be seeing an indication from your minor app. You have to go to the Pi browser, go to the KYC button, and you will see an updated information on the use of your application. Thank you.
I- I've been doing that for a while. Since I've been doing that, I've been checking all the time to see whether I got any kind of notification to reapply. I submitted a form some days ago because it seems
Okay.
as if I got a form to see whether I can be able to resubmit afresh. I've done that. I check my email often to see whether they've sent me any form of email or not. So I've been waiting. I don't know whether it's possible. I just want to ask whether it's possible that I can get the submission again. Thank you very much.
Okay. What you have to do is try and exhaust as many Pi network channels you are in and see how you can get moderator. Go to the Pi chat forum. If there's any, if there's
Please, I didn't get it. Type forum.
yes on the Pi Miner app, go to
Yeah.
chat, then try and see if you can trace if there is a selected forum for your country. Then begin to bombard that forum with your questions. Probably the moderator for Togo will pick your broadcast, and pretty much you may have the privilege of making your request to him, because some of these things maybe we need to involve. Because I'm saying this because there's a lady that used international passport for KYC. Before her KYC was approved, that passport expired. So they rejected her KYC and returned her back to apply. Then she now used her name to apply. But she had problems submitting because prior application had international passport. Second application is now documenting a new different ID. So it was saying the feedback was had to do with conflicts of data. So we had to reach out to the Nigerian moderator with screenshots of her former ID with the international passport expired, and also screenshot of her new ID, which is a premium name slip. And the moderator took it off and she has passed her KYC. So go to the Pi Miner, go to countries chat forums, trace your own country, try to reach out to moderator, let them know that you are actually ready for KYC. It's just that the system have not given you that option to resubmit.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Uh,
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Emma Soft?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yeah, Jim.
we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. My question is, I have three questions actually. I don't know if I should ask everything all together or I should ask one after the other while responses are given. Okay. Um, the first question is about the state of my account. Actually, I've been mining Pi for the past 3 years and I have submitted my KYC. And initially, my KYC was verified. As a matter of fact, I have been validating other accounts. I ensure that I use my plastic card, the acceptable one, So at a point in time, the KYC was reversed back to tentative approval. So, and I have been requested to do liveness check, which I did twice successfully. And since then up till now, is still on tentative approval. But my timer is paused actually. My timer is not reading, so I don't know if I'm on the safer side.
Yeah, all you need to do is wait. As far as the timer has paused, they just wait for the system to pick your data on the queue and it will be resolved. Nobody knows when, nobody knows which time, but just be rest assured you have done your own part. As long as validation was the right document, liveness check was you, not somebody doing it on your behalf. All you need to do is wait.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the second question is I want to have a clearer understanding about two things. Yes, it's about the case of pi being the idea about the pi currency is that it's going to be a globally adopted currency, meaning that it's going to be a coin everyone can actually transact with or use as a means of exchange. Understand what I mean? So I've been trying to make my research and findings, but I am grateful that I'm able to speak on this space and throw my question to the space. So my question is, if Pi is going to be a kind of a globally adopted currency, meaning that it's going to be a form of exchange between buyers and sellers, exchange for goods and services. Concerning the price of Pi, I think in my own idea, it should be a stable currency. So I want to ask, is Pi going to operate based on a stable currency or is going to operate as a normal currency of which its price can go up and down? If its price will be a kind of a normal currency that can go up and down depending on the rate of buyers and sellers of that coin, what will be the fate of, how will Pi be favorable, especially to those that are selling or that have product to sell when the price is not stable? How are they going to be favored? That's my second question.
Okay, two things here. A stable currency and an altcoin. All stable currency, the most important data around stable currency is that they are backed with equivalent fiat, equivalent crypto, equivalent natural resource, one to one. And you do not have that information on the white paper. That's one. Second thing again is, as excellent and valid is your argument, is also the fact that Bitcoin was originally created for peer-to-peer transactions. And Bitcoin is very costly. But that doesn't mean that it does not functionally fuel peer-to-peer transactions. People are still doing transactions in BTC. Now, whether you look at it or you don't look at it, it is a future of a currency. Every other currency, there's no currency in this world that is pretty much a stable currency. Most especially when you compare that currency with alternative currency. All right, dollar has not been fixed. You might still be looking at it as dollar, but the moment you compare it to pound sterling, to euro, you realize that the dollar itself have not been a stable currency. In other words, if $1 was equivalent to £1 sterling 20 years ago, you will agree with me that today $1 is not £1 sterling. Else, the fiat dollar would have also had that stable currency feel. In fact, the dollar was backed by gold reserve and that gold reserve backing ended, I think, in the 1920s, thereabout. So there have been more dollars that has been minted without any equivalent gold, you know, being backed and stuffs like that. What am I trying to say? For a currency to power transactions, that currency does not necessarily need to be a stable coin. Now, am I trying to then say that Pi will be a stable coin or not a stable coin? I am not privy to that information. What I'm privy to is the fact that it is being built to power transactions as a currency for everyday people. That's one. And oftentimes we used to forget the fact that currency is not the only product that the blockchain wants to build. The blockchain are building two products: one, currency, which is Pi, and two, a smart contract platform. So the blockchain is not only building the currency but also smart contract platform. Some will benefit from the smart contract platform. Then they build many businesses powered by the smart contract platform. Of course, the currency that will be accepted should be Pi. But probably it can happen that the smart contract platform can be a multi-chain smart contract platform wherein it can allow for the creation of other cryptocurrencies on top of Pi, which the smart contract will power transactions. Just as Solana is on top of it, just as Polygon is on top of Ethereum, just as Arbitrum is on top of Ethereum. So probably there's a possibility that the smart contract compatibility of the blockchain can allow for other blockchains to build on Pi and pretty much have their own native currencies existing on top of the base blockchain called Pi. So you can see that the boundary pretty much goes beyond the currency, but there's nowhere written that it's going to be a fiat or not going to be a fiat. But most importantly is the fact that it's being built to power transaction or to be a currency that can be used globally. And as a currency that can be used globally, Bitcoin is a perfect example that it does not necessarily have to be a stable coin for it to give that transactional feel. So I think you can ask your third question. Emmasoft, can you hear me? You can unmute your mic and ask your
Okay.
question.
Hello. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you very much for that elaborate explanation. The third question is about the issue of the buying and selling of Pi. We all know that the rules that guides the enclosed mainnet is that the purchase of Pi with fiat is not permitted or not allowed. But we can see that yes, it's not allowed, but we can actually trade with we could trade Pi with goods and services. We can, if you see anyone that want to, sell any product with Pi, we can actually trade. But the question I want to ask is that if we look at what is happening in the space right now, there are a lot of people that are purchasing Pi heavily in maximum without limit. So I want to ask because I've been holding on to that enclosed mainnet regulation as per buying of Pi with fiat. Now, people that are buying Pi, actually, technically looking at it, there is no difference between the transaction that was made based on exchange of products and a transaction that was made based on purchasing Pi. So is there a system that the Pi network has built to, that will show when someone is buying with fiat or show when someone is trading? Because so that I will not, if I have the privilege also to buy Pi, because it's almost the same way, it's the same transaction with the same process. It's just a matter of sending the Pi to, or it's just a matter of transaction between one wallet and the other. So that enclosed meaning regulation of not buying pie, are we still like, is there any punishment for that? Or is there anything, any way the pie core team can dictate if when the pie, when pie is purchased with fiat, or when transaction, real life transaction, like exchange with product is made? So if in case I have funds and I want to buy pie, can I still go ahead to purchase pie, or hold on to the enclosed minute regulation? That's my last question.
Okay, I'll say three things, and 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 it's laughing.
Now me dey laugh oh. I said to buy pie dey enter AI. You know what all true.
Oh man,
I'll
now
say
Sorry, go on, Mr.
I don't
Ben.
want to carry last.
Go on, Mr. Ben. Go on.
I'll say three things. So the first thing is on document transactions for Pi with another currency has the statement prohibited, and I think it's not a random word. Prohibited makes it illicit, wrong. Permit me to go an extra mile and say criminal, even though it's not a perfect scenario to use the word. That's one. The second thing I want to say is from a systems administration, systems engineering perspective, it's not hard. You kind of like think it's hard. Now, I'm not saying what the PyCore team will do, but probably let me say I am part of the auditing team, or I'm pretty much part of the team that will ensure mainnet and closed mainnet compliance. One thing that you don't know is that artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithm has simplified querying such that it's not a human being that we query. It's just a simple instruction, and that instruction will comb all data and fetch out parameters that strikes with the query query parameters, permit me to say like that. And you and me will agree that as we speak right now, all the social interaction infrastructures are Web 2.0, and they're in business to make money. So this is just me telling you what I know, how things work. So if I approach Facebook, who also have products like Instagram and WhatsApp, if I also approach Twitter and I say, I want data from with these parameters. First parameters, a unique identifier, mobile number, Facebook ID, wherein in com, which is communication, there have been parameters of pi as a currency versus the over 270 currencies of the world. And it can be audio, text, or visual. Of course, right now, you know that there's an algorithm that can convert audio to text, not only in English, but also in major languages. So that parameters create a query. As long as Facebook say, okay, give us X dollars, we pay, Facebook will query their servers. Google will query their servers. Probably Twitter will query their servers. Because Web 2.0 are in business for revenue. Now, this is not Pi Network saying no. This is just me from the wealth of experience with managing databases, and I've done like in the final year of my university, the lab of my final year was tough queries when I was in Asia. So I had to build the syntax for querying the database to give us specific information from a pool of financial data. So can it work? Honestly, it can work. But does that mean that that's what the core team will use? I don't know. The third thing I'm going to say is that the moderator for Nigeria had to engage me because based on my knowledge, I once made a tweet and I was using the word what if, what if, what if. What if the PyCore team does this? What if the PyCore team does that? What if the PyCore team does that? Because based on data, these issues can be queried. Of course, it costs a lot of steer. A lot of people say no, they no go do. Some people began to move around emotions and saying, PyCore team, when they do this, is going to harm the ecosystem. Now, this is emotions talking. This is not bits, zeros and ones. It's emotions. So the Nigerian moderator or the moderator for Nigeria slided, and I was like, boss. And these were his words. He said, based on enclosed mainnet rules, that some pioneers or some users will definitely be served breakfast. Now, if you're not from Nigeria or West Africa, I hope you understand that breakfast does not mean toast, bread and egg and a coffee. It means you will be penalized. But he said, not as I documented, because me, I'm coming from a systems administration or information systems perspective. What is obtainable in any typical database infrastructure? So pretty much as we speak, it is in the power of the core team to enact sanctions. And based on the words of one of the moderators, not my words, that some pioneers will be served breakfast. However, the breakfast comes, he was speaking from the point of certainty. I didn't ask further. Will they query Google? Will they query Facebook? Will they query cellular carriers? I didn't ask. Because unless you are with someone at proximity, you will definitely use this connection backbone to initiate your negotiation of any sort. And pretty much data around those backbones is a property of the carriers, whether it's a social interaction platform or it's a cellular carrier, whatever the case may be. And I do not know how far they can go. But he clearly said, what I documented from a technical point of view, the core team don't need to go that far. They know what they will do, but certainly some people will be served breakfast. So these are the three things I'm saying. One, that documented, and the word, you can mute your mic, the word prohibited was used. All right, and is a very strong word. All right. Two, from an information systems perspective, any kind of data can be queried. It's totally, you are not doing yourself justice to think because I was talking. So, like right now, we are talking, you think that some external parties cannot access the microphone of the device right now I'm talking. I think you don't know as you should. The three, a moderator said, definitely, in his words, not mine, that some people will be served breakfast. I think with this information, you are in the best position to make your deductions, and also that can help for us. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks for this breakdown. I really appreciate. You saved me from making a wrong choice. Thanks so much. because I have a lot of people in my community who has been throwing the same questions at me. They want to buy pie. Is it still safe to buy or to engage in the buying and selling of pie? So I think I have a good response to give now with respect to your explanation. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful.
Okay, Woody, I think we've exhausted the question.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Ben, for your elaborate clarifications on issues. Um, this space has been a very, very, very wonderful space, very wonderful, and I really also appreciate every listener, audience that has come in and made the ambience so rich for engagement. And I thank all the speakers, the co-hosts, my podcast, and Benjamin again. It's always it's always an enriching experience listening to Benjamin speak on spaces, and I hope Benjamin knows that the entire community really, really appreciates his contributions towards community education, right? This space has gone on for 3 hours, 3 whole hours. So we will have to adjourn the space with the expected um, announcement and development that will be coming from core team in this month of December before the grace period expires. I'm sure there'll be lots and lots to talk about as the developments happen. So hopefully see you next week on space. If this space is going to hold. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye.